Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining today, where we will explore this quote by sage Udalaka, which specifically comes up in one of the Upanishad known as Chandogya Upanishad. So, it's a conversation between the sage Udalaka and his son Swetaketu. So, he goes on to explain his son about the nature of who is and the highest reality, which is Brahman. He gives a lot of examples to him or analogies, something like gold and the ornament, pot and clay, ocean and waves. Tat Tvam Asi, Swetaketu, is what he says after each analogy. Thou art that. Thou art that. Or simply, you are that. So we will further see what is the you aspect in this and what is the that which he is referring to. So generally for you, we have three components, right? One is the body, the instrument which you're always aware of, and another thing which you're always aware of is your mind, the thoughts, and then you have this Atman. So in order to discover this Atman, we have different ways where we contemplate ourselves as who am I? And there are, which I've referred to in the previous videos, Neti Neti, that is basically I am not this, I am not this. You go back and finally discover this Atman dimension of you. Atman is nothing but the witness, right? So there is something within you which is always witnessing everything. Now that is Atman. And here Udalaka is telling his son that this Atman is nothing but the Brahman itself. Brahman is basically the highest reality. So that here is Brahman. Brahman. Now this is not Brahma. So we have Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. This is not that. Brahman is a reference to that which is the source of everything. So we will further explore the Brahman aspect as well, where we have two dimensions of Brahman, that is the unmanifest and manifest. Unmanifest is basically the Nirguna, there is no quality in this Brahman. And then we have Saguna Brahman, that is basically that aspect of Brahman which is manifest, which is everything. So body, mind, spirit, or body, mind, Atman is nothing but all of this combined together is nothing but Brahman itself. But there is certain quality to the body and mind. That is what is known as Saguna. Now let us try to visualize this further. So we'll start with the center. We all are aware of our body. Keep this in the center. You know your body always. There is a sensation, as I call it. It is a bundle of sensations which you are always aware of. And then the second dimension is there is a mind aspect to you, right? So body is sensations, and then the mind, we have two main components of your mind. One is the intelligence, and second is the identity. So in most of our time, the identity is always linked with memory, or which will lead to something known as the ego or the ahankar. So the ego can be strong or weak. No matter what, if it is extremely subtle, it is still an ego, which is even more dangerous because you will never know where it is hiding within you. Basically your attachment to different things, and if it is too strong, it shows up in the world as well, and your world will react accordingly. So the mind aspect has the intelligence, which is what you can make use of. The Jnana Yoga is where you make use of your intelligence in its most essential form. You contemplate the nature of I am, who am I, and what is this world. So basically the conversation here between Udalaka and Swetaketu is he is making use of Jnana Yoga specifically. He is contemplating his way back to the realization. First, there is a self known as Atman, that the pure witness of your being. Now we recognize that, and by simply, if you truly recognize the Atman in you as it is, you see that the highest reality, which is Brahman, the formless one, you are that as well. So now this realization is what true spirituality is about. It is, of course, reverence to God and forms is one dimension of it. It can be one where you respect those forms which are an embodiment of this highest knowing. If you want to go all the way, it is about you seeing yourself to be the highest reality. So Tat Tvam Asi, thou art that, you are that, is what the wisdom is. Okay, now encompassing all of this, whole of it, this is the Brahman we are talking about. This is bigger, so mind, body, and let's draw this too. Inside this, we need to recognize that there is some dimension known as Atman within you, that is the pure witness. So encompassing all of this, that is the body, mind, Atman, is this Brahman. This is where the meditations are done. That is the true purpose of meditation. You see that you cannot exist without this awareness. The first thing is this pure witness. So this Atman is nothing but the Brahman itself. Let's also explore how we can imagine or how we can map specifically the whole world and Brahman in it. So it's just not you as an individual, it is also every other objects, not just the living entities, that are metabolism, the pranic creations of this world, also the one without the animation, the inanimate objects, as well as nothing but the Brahman, the source, the formless one, which can show up in this world in form, and we call it as Sagun Brahman, or simply the world of objects, or as we know it. Now we will see how we can include these objects, even this body, mind, everything is an object for that Brahman. How can we visualize it? Let's see that. So you, this is you, which we currently know as that body mind complex, and let's say there are many other objects including this whiteboard and the phone you have, the TVs, the trees, the mountain, all of this, no exceptions whatsoever. Everything is an object of this world, obviously, including you and the animals. All of this has no existence whatsoever without its something, without a space, without a source, also known as the Brahman. Okay? Here, one more important aspect of you, because the mind has concepts in it, the mind has a logic. You have already invested some time and energy in understanding this. So there is a psychological plane specifically of concepts. Now this is so deep that it would need its own object layer. So mind, the complexity of your mind can be simplified if you can simply see a concept as a collection of thoughts and imagination, which is true. Objectively, it is trying to describe the behavior of the world, but it is still in the psychological plane, and it is an object for you, the Atman, the witness, which is nothing but this highest reality of Brahman. So as a human being, the Atman aspect of you, the Atman in you, it's an overlap. If you see this, this will help you in linking to Brahman. Atman will realize that it is nothing but Brahman itself. So that is what the Alaka meant by Tat Tvam Asi Svetaketu. In every analogy of the first one, is he says about the gold and its ornaments. Ornament is nothing but a form which is derived out of the gold. it's an analogy. Of course, the material is same, the chemical composition is same. There are limitations to these analogies. So, but the essence of it is all the elemental creation has a source. These elemental formations are nothing but that source itself manifesting. It is quite common, it's extremely simple, and somewhere all you need is the common sense and some silence within you to discover this highest reality. And this opens up everything. Your evolution itself will change. Your perception to death, birth, the game, the Maya, the illusion, the reality of that illusion, everything will fall in line once you try to employ your common sense and that silence and try to understand who are you, the Atman. Recognize that first, and then you see there is no existence of this without the Brahman. Thank you for watching today's video, and I will try to pick on more quotes by not just in scriptures. It could be from different religions or even different philosophers, saints, sages, all of them, and try to simplify it. There are few of them which is quite obvious, but there are some quotes which might need some form of the context in which the wisdom was shared by the individual. Thank you.